guys? Welcome to the EvoGen Podcast. I'm Eddie, and I'm here with Maisie and Colby, and we have a guest speaker here.
Yes, do you want me to introduce myself?
Introduce yourself.
Okay, perfect. My name's Savanah Romney. I'm a Utah real estate agent, and I also run a podcast called Uncharted, where it's a little similar to this, but I interview people, business owners, athletes, and talk about how to embrace the unknown and step out of your comfort zone. So I'm super excited to be here today. Thank you guys for letting me be on, and I look forward to this conversation.
Heck yeah. Well, thanks for coming, Savanah. Everyone go listen to Uncharted right now. Go search it in your search bar and then come back.
Maybe after this one.
Well, that's true. They might forget. We'll remind them. Okay. But anyways, we're talking about the power of collaboration over competition. So last week we talked about how being in certain groups can, fast track your success and help you get on the right path faster. But a lot of people, I feel like, misconstrue that and think that if they're giving value and providing value to other people, that they're giving their competitors an edge. I feel like I see that a lot in certain communities that I've been in. So yeah, that's what we're talking about today, how to just kind of overcome that and lead with value.
Yeah, I see it kind of like dating. If you always ask that person, sometimes you get together with them and you partner up with that person. Sometimes you guys are going to break off and then you're going to find someone better. So sometimes it's just trial and error when it comes to collaboration, because sometimes people will, kind of take you for granted and kind of take it with them and just be a taker, right? But you'll find those people that'll give back, and then once you find those people, it'll generate so much opportunity in the end. I think that's kind of an analogy that I put it in.
Yeah.
So.
Very true. For our space specifically, this is something that's huge for us as a CPA firm. Most CPA firms think we're always trying to take from them, take their clients and whatnot. But in the more, where we stand in the more advanced tax planning space, where it's a big gray space and we're like all doing these crazy strategies, it's actually welcome to be a lot more collaborative. We end up getting on a lot of calls together with other CPA firms, literally showing all the strategies that we're using and how they work. And we're introducing them to new strategies, and they're introducing us to new strategies. And that's where collaboration is huge for us, because they're saving their clients hundreds of thousands of dollars using strategies that they didn't know about because of us, and vice versa.
Yeah, for sure. Is this something that you feel like you run into a lot with other agents?
Yeah, so this is a big topic that my team, the Perry Group, talks a lot about. I think agents are, how do I say this without getting canceled? I think they are pretty selfish. A lot of them think that if they share their ideas or their opinions or their mindset, that their clients are going to get stolen or someone's going to do it better than them. But a phrase and look that I've been able to see as I've collaborated and give and taken from agents, especially on my team, is you learn a lot more and you have the choice to be the best of the best, right? If you're the best of the best and you're sharing all these things, you're going to find other ideas that also work with your business and what you're doing. So people are always scared to share too much information, and then their business is going to go bankrupt and all their clients are going to hate them now. It's interesting that we go straight to the negative before we go to the positive. So anyways, back to the loop. I've seen that as I've collaborated in real estate, brainstormed with real estate agents, we both have been able to elevate and find our target client. So that's another topic that I would also bring to the light, is not everyone's going to have or be able to work with the same type of demographic. So you guys are collaborating, but this person works well with people in their 50s that are about to retire, whereas you're younger and you're working with people that are just starting their business. So you're collaborating still, and you have different demographics, but you're still providing value to then 10x your businesses.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Well, and that's huge for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the CPA firm, we don't work with anyone unless they're making over $500K a year. We have several CPAs who do way less than that, and we'll send them gladly over there. And then we have CPAs that do massive corporations, and we're not going to take on a massive like $100 million client, so we'll send them elsewhere. But yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like you also have to move from like a scarcity mindset almost. Like if you're thinking that way and you're going to the negative, then honestly, your whole brain is probably wired into scarcity and in the negative at that point. Having an abundance mindset is something that I've really shifted towards in joining different communities and different places, and just like I said, providing value. And like we talked about last week, just providing value to other people, because when you give more, you get more in return. And
Yeah.
if you keep thinking, oh, I'm going to run out of people because I'm sharing all this information, then yeah, you're going to run out of people even without sharing this information, because you're thinking there's a scarcity of these leads. When in like a real estate setting, there's always going to be people wanting to buy houses or move into houses or move out of houses. Like there's always going to be opportunity there as long as you're looking for it.
Yeah. One thing too that I would say is that I've talked with a lot of realtors like you, and sometimes I propose my idea to them, say, hey, just keep me in mind whenever you come across X property, right? Whatever I'm trying to look for. And a lot of the realtors, they're like, no, because I've been burned in the past. I've worked with investors like you, and and then they become very defensive, and I'm like, well, you can't generalize off of a few bad apples, right? And that's the kind of like the analogy that I said about dating. It's like I can't assume that the next person that I get with is going to lead to a breakup, right?
Yeah.
So another thing too is that like I also try and partner up with other people, that are doing deals. So it's not just me out on my own. I always try to look for more people, because more people will bring me more opportunities. More opportunities means more success, right? More prosperity in the end.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. And if you're like kind of going back to what I was saying before, if you're looking for that negative, like, or if you're having a new person that you're dating and you're thinking you're going to end in a breakup, like it's going to happen,
Yeah.
because that's what you're telling yourself. You're going to be looking for those negatives in that person and that reason to get out. So
Exactly. And that has a lot to do with mentality, right? I
mhm.
mean, you attract what you think is going to be the outcome at the end of the day. So just be aware, guys.
I used to think that was like such crazy, like woo woo, like the energy you put out is the energy you attract. I used to think that like no, there's no way that worked. But then I started shifting my mindset and opening my eyes and everything to possibilities, and then they start coming. Like the second you shift your mindset, it's crazy how many opportunities come your way. I'm sure you probably have
Well, yeah.
seen that a lot.
Well, I mean, like just from like literally November 2024, and then making the shift in our mindset from we're not doing this anymore, but like this is what we're doing going forward, and setting that new floor. I mean, we more than doubled in the last year, and it was just insane. And now, I mean, we're on track to do 5 to 10 million this year alone, probably even more than that with our new JV partners. But that's because we led with value first, and we treated it like dating. I mean, last year we got our new JV partner, and we said, okay, let's have a short-term contract where we just share a little bit with each other and we date and we see how it goes before we get married.
Exactly.
And like quite literally, it's exactly the verbiage that we use. And then after he was like, yes, this is a great partnership, come in January, he came into us and he's like, I want to do $10 million with you guys this year. Like, what do we need to do to make this happen?
Sure.
And then we drafted a new contract. Now we're like married and he loves what we do. And he just merged with another company, and now we're all three collaborating, and we've got like huge plans for the summer.
Becomes a family.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So
One big happy family.
Yep.
The next thing on here is how to identify aligned partnerships, and I feel like this like flows really nicely, because unless you're from Utah, you don't marry people after not dating them.
3 months is a little fast, but
Yeah.
But like I feel like this is a way to shift into that. Like, how do you identify and date these opportunities and these people to figure out that they are aligned?
I think and
When you know.
it's hard because I have heard stories where a year or two goes by and it ends badly, right? But that's the same as dating and marriage. Sometimes you just get divorced in 5 years, and that's just what happens because things change, people change. And I'm not here preaching divorce, right? I do not want to get divorced. That's not my genre. Not in the plans. But if you vibe with someone, you get along, and values are aligning, why not try it?
Yeah.
And obviously date for a while, right?
Mhm.
Test it out, hang out with them, figure out what their intentions are, ask the right questions. A lot of people in the dating realm don't ask the hard questions and they just get married. And I think that's the same in business. You need to ask the hard questions, find out their intentions, find out what their goals are, how they're showing that they're going to achieve their goals, because all that's going to matter.
Yeah, I like that. And even if it's someone that you're bringing on as like maybe a client or something that maybe you don't have a partnership agreement and that sort, like ask those pre-qualifying questions, make sure they're serious about what you're doing so that you guys don't both get burned in the end.
Yeah. Make sure what they say is actually credible as well. Like there's a guy that I know, he's owned previously over 50 rentals out there in Tennessee, but then he realized that the partners that he was partnering up with was just fraud. They were fraudulent people. So he had to deal with like a 2.5 year lawsuit against that. And the thing that he told me that he would change is just ask more blunt, upfront questions. Like, for example, like, something that has to do with like their taxes, to really make sure and vet that they're making that amount of money, because what they were doing was that they were using him as a tool to acquire these properties under his name, and them not really, something along those lines. But yeah, I mean, you just have to ask the really blunt questions. If you ask the right questions, the bad ones will get spooked, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and don't beat around the bush. I feel like, especially with what the business model that I've transitioned into, a lot of who I bring in are partners. They become my business partners. And I used to be so scared to straight up front say, like, this is the opportunity, and ask all these different questions, because from a marketing standpoint, every time you bring someone through a funnel, it's going to get smaller until you find your people. And I was so scared of having those drop-offs that I just wouldn't ask the right questions, and then get to the end and they'd be like, wait, what? So you just got to be upfront and blunt, like Eddie is saying.
Exactly. And another thing that I would like to add too is just like understand who they are as a person, right? I feel like the personal life is as big as the business life as well. So, for example, when we were at the banquet, I'm not going to name no names, but like the person who was speaking at that banquet, I was like, man, I would never partner up with that person at all.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's just too much of a loose cannon to me. But for someone else, they could be a great partner. I don't know, but
Well, look where the business is now.
yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, that's kind of one thing that I would emphasize on, is just get to know them personally, how they are, how they function. If they're too much of a scatterbrain and that's not your taste, don't go for that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of successful CEOs that are scatterbrained.
Me.
There's a lot of successful CEOs that are very operational, like very hardwired people, but there's many different type of traits, but you just have to understand what works for you.
Yeah. Well, I think also where you can and where it's appropriate, set up the legal boundaries. Like that's huge for us. I mean, we have contracts put in place for a specific reason. If said thing happens, then like this is a course of action we're going to take. And I mean, it's reviewed by attorneys. I mean, like it's legit. Like make sure those legal boundaries are in place. Like in the mastermind I was just in, without naming any names or companies, they had a great partnership. These few people put the whole company together, and the lawyers sat them down and were going through all these documents, and they're like, in the case that this happens, yada yada yada, and they're like, man, this is terrible. Like, why would anyone do this to another person? And here, like 2 years later, they're going through one of those things in the contract, and they're like, thank goodness this is in place. Whereas before they're like, why are you even doing this? Why would you ever do this to each other?
Yeah, that's important.
So,
and I do think it always goes back to finding your niche and the people that you want to work with, because you have all the legal contracts in place, but your ideal client, are they really going to push to the point where you have to go into that legal space? So definitely asking the right questions, but targeting your niche so good that it's a no-brainer. It's a smooth operation, So
right.
I like that.
Before it becomes smooth, it'll get rough.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, it's not going to be the perfect. You're still throughout your whole entire business career, you're gonna run into shit.
Yep.
That's sorry, I don't know if I'm
No,
allowed to cuss on here,
you can swear.
but you're gonna go through a lot of things, right?
Yep.
There's not nice people in this world, but the better you are at niching down and asking the hard questions first, the less likely you're gonna have to use those legal contracts or
Right.
have super hard conversations that maybe wouldn't be necessary with your ideal niche client. So
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And I feel like the word contract scares a lot of people, especially in the sales world. Like when it comes to having to sign a contract, they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Uh-huh.
But it really, like, if it's set up right, read through your things, have
Mhm.
at least the very minimum have ChatGPT scan it because you're not screwing yourself over. But they're like, the contract is to protect both sides. So if one person is not living up to what the contract says, the other person's not paying up, whatever the deal is, then you have a standpoint to be like, hey, this is what our document says, and you're not doing it. Like, even though they sound a little bit scary, but
Well, they don't have to be. I mean, we, like in our company, whenever we have a new client come on board, they have to sign an engagement letter. It sounds a lot more friendly, and it
Yeah.
protects both. We have to explain to them that it protects them and it protects us.
I told Owen to start calling them agreements because
Yeah, there's partnership agreements.
Yeah.
They're,
It's definitely how you phrase it too, especially in real
Yep.
estate or sales. I don't know how much of experience you guys have in like direct sales, but how you word things you'll find is very important. And
Mhm.
you want to make sure you're not wording it in a way that sounds scammy,
yeah.
but wording is very, very important.
Because there's so much stigma around certain words. It's so weird, but then there's like so many different words that mean the exact same thing that people are like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
that sounds cool.
They feel less pressured or obligated to I guess joint yourselves together, right?
Yeah.
Join it together. So,
For sure.
but yeah, and going back to the dating stuff because it's a lot of like dating. Going
And
with
he's looking for his next date, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comment down below.
So like for me, like I see what you were saying with the contract.
Yeah.
Kind of like when you marry them, there's prenups, right?
Oh, yeah.
And there's
Oh, yeah.
ways to protect yourself
True.
on that manner. So just wanted to throw that out as like another connection I wanted to make. So I don't know if you guys are believers of that, like the contract.
I
with the
thought
prenup.
about it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't feel like it's a problem, but
but a lot of people
Yeah.
do.
uh-huh.
People
They're like,
Yeah.
well, why? It's like Colby said. It's like, why would you ever think
I
about
think it
that?
depends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like some people think it's like manifesting divorce, but I'm like, I don't see it that way. I think, I mean, people change all the time. You don't know who ever, like, I don't know
Yeah.
who me and Owen are going to be in 10 years. Like, we
Right.
could be completely different people, and that's perfectly fine. But at least you have that in place in the event that something does happen. Not saying I want it to happen,
Yeah.
but just like, hey,
marry a business owner and both sign prenups. Like,
there
I
you
don't
go.
know. But I don't know. It just depends because I can see the manifestation in
Mhm.
divorce, but I feel like it shouldn't be an issue if you guys both love each other and the reason that you had the prenup is
Worst
It
case
makes sense,
scenario.
yeah.
Worst case
Yeah.
scenario. Yeah.
so.
That's how it is. I could love a business partner as much, as a friend, but it's like we really have to get into like the numbers and like what could happen won't lie, right?
Yeah.
And anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Yeah, we signed an agreement for Evogen, all
Yeah.
three of us. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, also, people write wills, and that's a little bit different because you're like giving people stuff, but it's the same thing. You don't write a will hoping to die, but you write it just
Exactly.
in case. So.
Yeah.
Exactly.
like
So,
that.
yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, I mean, everything, or the last thing that's on here is real examples of co-elevation and entrepreneurship, which I feel like Colby's given a lot of examples of that so far. I don't know if you guys have any that you're thinking of.
Repeat that one more time.
Examples of co-elevation and entrepreneurship. So just like strategic partnerships that you have, like what Colby's been saying basically with all of his partners.
Well, one strategy that I do when it comes to working with people is that I make it's like a non-obligated like agreement, which means that like if they sign with me, they can do whatever they want with the deal, but you're just giving me the option to essentially help you out or assist you on whatever it is that you need, right? So a lot of people feel like, oh dang, like I could do whatever I want, without having to worry that I'm binded and tied up with this guy. So I think that's a pretty cool strategic partnership that I've implemented in my life. It's just making it more casual than super formal and super serious and intimidating. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smart.
I feel like one example with my current mentor, we text each other like every single day, bouncing ideas off of each other. And she's been in the business model for 2 years now, I think, or a little while. And she's been doing this for a while and has seen a lot of success. And then I've obviously only been doing this for about 6 months now. But even though we're at different levels in our business, it's still not like, I mean, it never really was a competition. We never see it that way. But the way that we collaborate so well is because she's very like, let's just go, let's do it, let's try whatever, and has tried all these different strategies that I've never tried before, with the organic marketing and things like that. And then I'm over here and I came from a background of ads and very analytical and systems based and making sure that everything has a spot and that I'm a little bit analysis paralysis. But when we come together, it works so well because we bring things to each other that we didn't even know was possible. Like Colby just showed me a video of a way to monetize your like Instagram lives and your Facebook lives. Like you can literally go live and it's like an ad and get so many other people joining than you normally would, because when people go live, there's like 5 people on.
Yeah.
Even if how many followers does he have? Like
167,000. And
Yeah.
every time you went live, it was like only like 3 or 5 people.
Yeah.
And that's for most people because of the way that the algorithms work now. But he was showing the new strategy of how he runs ads to his live streams. And for like $60, we'll get like 900 people.
Yeah, which is insane. But I was telling her a little bit about that. She's like, I didn't even know we could do any of this. And there's just so many ideas. Like everyone has something that they can bring to the table, no matter how new you are or not how old you are, but like how long you've been there. There's always something that someone can contribute. And I just say like, hear them out, see what they have to offer, because you never know where that's going to go.
Well, in all the masterminds that I'm a part of, like every time we come together, we always do a give and an ask. And we're always trying to give something super valuable and super beneficial to help people. And then we're always asking other people in the room to help us where we're at. And it's super crazy. It's amazing to see the things that come when we're all in a collaborative state of mind.
Yeah.
For sure. There's strength in numbers, right? I mean, you can't do it all alone. I said that before in an episode, right?
Yeah, I think
past
so. It
interviews I
sounds
have.
getting deja vu.
Yeah, so it's because the thing is that like I work in the real estate game and like you need a lot of people to, at least from what I'm looking for, in order to get what I'm trying to look for. And there's a specific criteria that's not as prominent, but if you have a lot of people searching for you,
Then yeah, there's strength in there.
sure, yeah.
I'm sure you could probably relate on that. Like
Yeah.
even with your example of different demographics and different niches, like you can still bring value to other agents.
I actually went down to Arizona and I have some agent friends down there. And I did door knocking with them, open houses. They handed me a hypothetical, what do you phrase something that's not actually there, but I don't know the word. But they basically handed me their book of business, everything that they did, nothing crossed out. I could see everything. And they said, this is what we do. Let's connect. Let's show you everything. And now we are. I'm implementing stuff here in Utah. They're still doing it. They're still getting a bunch of business, and I'm building with what they've taught me as well. So
That's awesome.
you're not gonna. There's no negative to sharing, because if you consider yourself doing it the best, sharing is not gonna make someone better than you or beat you. So
just
Very
take
true.
the I'm the best like context out of it, because like
yeah,
no one's the best at anything they do. Like you
Yeah.
can say you're an expert, but Colby also showed me another video before you guys got here of this guy talking about how like if you don't implement AI, then like you're in your business, like you're going out of business in the next 2 years basically.
Yep.
And just along those lines, like there's always going to be someone that's better than you. So if you keep that mindset of like you're the best person, that you're not, and a robot's going to take over you.
yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I think people are just scared of sharing something and then being replaced. So
Yeah.
that's a better way to phrase it. But you just have to realize that when you put stuff in, you get a lot more out of it.
Yeah, and I mean, being scared of being replaced that's valid, but also find a way to not be replaced.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah. Well, is it
keep growing.
President Roosevelt that said there's nothing to fear but fear itself?
Yep.
Like if you're afraid, I mean that's totally valid, but don't let it consume you. Don't let it stop you. Like, yeah.
Make it fuel you.
Right.
Yeah. And I think it's human nature to think that we're all in competition,
Yeah.
right? That's like biologically speaking, we're like there's competition within itself naturally. So it's like we have that default mindset of like, oh, like these people are here to like take something from me, and because it's a form of protection, right? If I were in, like in a tribe or whatever, and I'm meeting someone else that is completely foreign to me, I'm always going to have that type of like primal instinct, like, oh, like I'm just trying to protect myself and people who are close to me. What are you doing? So, but yeah, that's what we have to break out of, is that natural way of thinking, oh, we're just here to compete. We're not here to compete.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
we're here to all collectively grow together.
Yep. That should be our motto for EvoGen. We're all here to collectively grow together.
Yes. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
I feel like that's what we've been talking about like the last 3 episodes. I feel like you've said that actually a lot, which is like good. Like that's what we built this for, is
Yes.
for all of us young entrepreneurs just to grow and do better and be better together.
And to understand the value of our community. This is like really what we're trying to do. We're trying to inform people how the reality of business actually works, instead of having to figure it out all themselves. Being around the right rooms and stuff like that of people that have been doing it for a long time, people who've just started. And who knows, maybe if you just started and there's someone else who's starting out as well, y'all could do something together and then learn from each other and, experience things throughout the journey. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I feel like this is something Colby's done a lot of, but I also talked to you a little bit, and you've been going to a lot of events with, like, you want to speak a little bit more on that with more?
Yeah, networking events are my favorite, and just meeting people. That's partly why I started my podcast. One, to motivate other people to get out of their comfort zone, and also to talk with people that have already gotten out of their comfort zone or have done something great and get their insight on it. Because again, everyone has something that we can learn from, whether you're measuring it on how much money they make, or everyone has something valuable to add. So as I've gone to these networking events and talked to these millionaires on my podcast, I've been able to learn a lot from them and then get the courage to implement those things into what I'm doing.
For sure. Right. I feel like that's a good transition to close this one out. So everyone go listen to Uncharted by Savanah Romney. Is that what it's called? Like, is that your name
Uncharted,
on it?
yeah.
Okay,
My name's
Uncharted.
on it.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I can
right?
send you the link.
Okay. Yeah, we'll link it down below as well.
Awesome, guys.
Sweet.
Well, yeah, that's about it. Any other comments, thoughts, concerns?
That's all I've got. Sorry we canceled pickleball when we said be there, be square.
Yes.
we're square. Sorry. But we're postponing it. Don't worry, it'll be back.
And he scared us with the weather.
Yeah. New date will be out, guys. So we'll keep you guys informed in the EvoGen Instagram and community for all you Evo juniors, majors, and whales. So.
All right. Okay, well, we'll see you next week.
Peace.